Good morning, everyone. It is July 11th, and I hope everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. There were a ton of activities going on in town and no major events of the negative aspect to report, so that's great news. Jim, why don't I pass it over to you? You can go over the stuff, and then I'll talk about this week in our meetings.
Sure. Thank you, Tony. Happy Monday to everybody. We'll start as always with our COVID updates. Paving data number this week was 23, up from 21. Our positivity rating over the last 14 days was at 6.99, which is down slightly from 7.05 of last week. Plymouth County's at 5.48, up from last week's 4.86. And the statewide number for the past 7 days was 7.87, up from 6.22 of last week. Statewide, there are 43 individuals in ICU, up from 41 of last week, and 12 patients are intubated, up from 10 of last week. So numbers are up slightly almost all the way across the board. Omicron is still with us. We are seeing a new variant that people are talking about that is more contagious and more resistant to the vaccine. So these numbers have not gone down. We will continue to say every week, if you haven't been vaccinated, please do so. If you've been vaccinated, make sure you get boosted. For the water update, the Tack Factory Pond is at minus 13.5 inches. That's down from last week's minus 6.5. So we haven't had any rain in a couple of weeks. So the water in our pond is going down. Average daily demand last week was 1,623,000 gallons a day, up from 1,563,000 the previous week. Manganese is very high right now in the pond, and we do not treat for manganese at the water treatment plant. So that manganese discoloration goes out into the system. So we are getting a lot of complaints about discolored water, and that is because of the manganese, which again, we do not treat for in the water treatment plant, but when we construct a new water treatment plant, we will be able to filter that manganese and the discoloration out. Rainfall over the last 7 days was ½ inch. We want to remind people, if you have brown water, please let us know. You can call the water department or go to brownwater@scituatema.gov and leave an email, and we will track those and follow up. The track vac system in the bottom of the sedimentation basin that we had problems with is currently working. We are waiting for the new parts to come in to be installed, and then we will monitor that plant over the next couple of days. We are experiencing some issues right now in our supply chain, particularly with potassium hypochlorite, which is a chemical necessary for balancing pH in water. This could lead to some issue with our wells and being unable to use our wells. So right now, the full water ban is still in place as we try to get those things settled and balanced out. But we are looking at a drought situation right now. So the current water ban is based on our ability to produce water. But if we don't get some sizable rain in the near future, we will probably be going into a water ban based upon how much water we have available. So stay tuned for that. Right now, Selco, our water contractor, will be starting tomorrow on Old Driftway. As part of the Drew project, the Old Driftway will be paved. So before they pave it, we will be installing a new water main on Old Driftway and get that going starting tomorrow. Speaking of paving, our contractor right now, this week, he is paving in Pembroke. We are next on his list. It's really going to depend upon what happens this week, weather-wise and in Pembroke. But over the next couple of weeks, we should have our paving crews in town and start doing our paving, particularly at Old Oak and Bucket and Border Street, which are kind of a mess from the water projects that we did. So we're hoping to get the paving company out soon and get those projects started. On the water treatment plant, we'll be doing an update on the water treatment plant Wednesday night at 7 p.m. That's a Zoom meeting, and the link is available on the town website. With the rise in inflation, rise in grocery costs, rise in the price of gas, we know the cost of everyday items has soared recently. If you're in need or you know someone in need, both Scituate Community Christmas and the Scituate Food Pantry are available to residents, to those in need. So if you are in need or you know someone in need, they can contact either of those organizations. Scituate Community Christmas, despite its name, is a year-round organization dedicated to helping people in the Scituate community. They can be reached at 781-545-7198. And the Food Pantry, which currently operates out of the Old Gate School, can be reached at 781-545-5827. Scituate's very lucky to have both those organizations working for us in town. So if you have a problem, if you have a need, please don't hesitate to reach out to either one of those groups. Just an update for people. We are having a high tide warning this week. There's a full moon on Wednesday night. So we will have astronomically high tides starting tonight through Monday of next week. High tides will start just before 10 p.m. tonight and go about an hour later every night Cole Parkway, Mill Wharf parking lot, other low-lying areas may be susceptible to some flooding for these tides. So just be careful, be aware, and make sure you know where your car is and where you're driving during those high tide periods. Reminder, Cohasset is still working on Route 3A, so be careful if you're heading up that way. And that's really what I have for today, Tony.
Great. Good job. I just have a few things to add. We have a select board meeting tomorrow night, and it starts at 6:30. You can come in and watch that. One thing of interest to some people is Kathy Curran, our town clerk, is going to be over the early voting procedures, and that is around 7:10. So if you're interested in that, for both the state primary and the election, so that'll be going on. There are some other meetings this week. On Wednesday night, we have an update on the water treatment plant, so that'll be going on, and that'll be a Zoom meeting also, where our contractors will update us on the status of the information and the questions that people had on that. On top of that, on Wednesday, this Wednesday, the library concert series is going on. So if you're looking for some good entertainment and kids run around and have some fun, Wednesday night at the library. And then on Thursday, we have the antique car show also. So that'll be down in the harbor. Lastly, I just want to recognize a couple people that I saw articles on this week. A couple of our Scholastic athletes, Keegan Sullivan and Sam Benning, both got recognized for their great GPIAs and their great athletic ability too. So congratulations to both of them. They're both headed off to great colleges, and wish them the best of luck there. Other than that, that's all we have. And tune in tomorrow night at 6:30 for our select board meeting. And if you're interested in the other stuff on the agenda, which is all on the website. All right, have a great week, everybody.